These clubs are just like a relationship.
Yeah.
Either that bitch for me or she not. I'm here with the infamous Gorilla Blues.
You don't ride, you don't understand.
Alright, man, I'm sitting here with my man Randy. I told you guys.
The Power Rules, the Crips, the Hoovers, the East Coast, kept getting killed because some was on a motorcycle set and gangbang.
OG's O Chrome, West Coast edition. Presented by Raven Dixie Incorporated. Only on MotorcycleEntertainmentTelevision.com. Available on Amazon and Roku.
Overall, I think we're about 80% like prepared. Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
I don't have any kind of preparations, or it doesn't even cross my mind that could happen.
Really, I don't have an excuse. I'm not going to offer one. You know, there's no reason why I haven't. There's no reason why I shouldn't.
What's up, everybody? It's your boy Royce Massengill.
And I'm Jamie Moorhead.
Jamie Moorhead. And, well, actually, we are both entrepreneurs. So.
My name is Justin. I have a family, 2 kids, fiance. Do everything from photography, videography, graphic design, software engineering. I'd consider us middle class.
Name, and it's pronounced, I'll just say Ohalu Pillow. For a living, I'm a senior claims analyst.
I think we're about, from what I have right now.
Last night. Like,
I
are we ready? Are we even ready?
Right, but I would say really only 4 days. I don't have to.
Canned goods, we don't have enough of those.
Right, like powder stuff too, powder milk and stuff.
Non-perishables, yeah.
Not really. Maybe every 2 weeks we'll do a grocery shop, grab some stuff. No deep freezer. I would love to have a deep freezer, but unfortunately where we live is...
Yeah. For how many? How long? No, I don't. Maybe a week. Yeah.
They say greatness doesn't come overnight, so I'm not rushing. Spaced out swag, best believe I'm paper touching. Super stupid flow, and you bitches can't tell them nothing. UFO, uniquely flying, outstanding. All I speak is cash, I see why you don't understand. UFO, uniquely flying, outstanding. All I speak is...
And we live, baby. Welcome to the mothership, bitches. It's the Whodat podcast, the livest podcast this side of the Mississippi and the Nile River.
Stop. Z, hit them horns.
Go ahead. The livest podcast, like I said. How you doing? This is B. And like always, we got Paco, the captain. And you are on the mothership with the Whodat boys. Welcome. You made it through another week. Congratulations, motherfucker. Thank you for tuning in. As always, we abduct Earthlings to come up here and chop it up with us. We're not coming down there to y'all. Seems like there's a lot going on, and we don't want to fucking deal with it.
Gas is too high.
Too high.
We'll do it via Zoom.
So we got Earthling to come up here and hang out with us.
They kidnapped me.
Anybody with a Cowboys cup.
Oh
man.
Really
Anybody with a Cowboys cup.
Listen, we gonna go on and get my introduction out the way. Right now, just shooting shots, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Born and raised. That's all I need to say, right?
Yeah.
But we have the CEO and founder of Ark Contingency, LLC. That's the commercial that you just saw, Eliyahu Bennett. And he has come on the show to kick it with us, talk about his company, Ark Contingency. But also, June is the month for the culture. Shout out to Juneteenth. Right. Juneteenth is coming up on the 18th and the 19th. The 18th, we're going to be in Columbia celebrating, so make sure you go to Riverside Park. And the 19th, go up to Tullahoma, because they having their second annual Juneteenth. So, every Sunday for the month of June, we will be covering the culture in some aspect, form, or shape, or whatever. But we're going to be talking about it. And tonight, we're going to be talking about family and the culture. But first, we love entrepreneurship. So introduce yourself. Tell people, about your company and how long you've been doing it. Right. First off, I'm sorry. Week's been good. Everybody's good.
Yeah, we're alive and well.
Man,
alive and well.
We're here, man.
All right, man.
I appreciate you guys for having me on the show as well.
Most definitely, man. It's overdue. It's overdue.
Not on my end, though. I'm just saying. Nah, I'm messing with
we in the mothership. We've been busy.
Yeah, they're abducting me, man. So they got me tonight, man.
Well, tell people what's the name? Well, Ark Contingency, I already said. But what is Ark Contingency?
Okay, so Ark Contingency is basically a preparedness company, right? Kind of want to stay away from the prepper term, but it is what it is. It's a company that focuses on awakening our community, making them aware of certain situations that they may not be privy to. And showing them what the solutions are, you know what I'm saying? So, basically, man, we are about the community. So, family is a perfect subject for us to jump on. So, let's jump in it, man.
Well, how long has Ark Contingency been going?
Ark Contingency has been going for about 2 years now. But my background in this field
was the I'm sorry to cut you off. Was the pandemic inspiration behind it, or was it before pandemic and then pandemic having you like, see, told you?
The pandemic was a catalyst.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
So this was the process was already going, but when the pandemic hit, it just put it in overdrive. Right. So we went on fight for LLC, and we here. You know what I'm saying? So like I said, we just here to bring awareness and stay ready mindset. You feel me? So.
Define the stay ready mindset. What does that mean for the person who doesn't know?
Yeah.
So, I'll give you a few examples. The forecast is rain, right? Right. How are you going to step outside?
Or at least an umbrella or might have a raincoat thrown in trunk.
You're going to step outside ready for rain.
Yeah.
Right? True. So, with the stay ready mindset, we want to stay ready for everything. Whatever situation has the most likelihood of happening to me or in my vicinity or to my family, I want to stay ready for it. I want to stay a couple steps ahead. And we always say, it's ain't checkers, it's chess, right?
So, absolutely.
We got to play chess. You know what I'm saying? So, like I said, man, it's whatever the situation.
So how do you bring awareness? Like, what do you like community wise? Like, what do you how do you teach or get that stay ready mindset out there to the community?
So you basically just have to drop seeds, right? Because it ain't for everybody. Everything ain't for everybody. So what we do is we drop the seeds, give you the information. The information lets you know why you need to stay ready. Then once you understand that, we give you, well, this is how you stay ready. And it's simple. You know what I'm saying? But it's going to take a changed mindset to figure it out, right? Or to even understand it. Because in geometry, if you don't understand chapters 1, 2, and 3, 15 is just going.
It's Chinese.
And you know, You know what I'm saying? So you got to understand the mindset, and then you got to understand, okay, well, these are the things, or the contingencies that I need to put in place to stay ready. I need my EDC, which is everyday carry, right?
Yeah.
I got my firearm or my mace or whatever. I got my pocket knife with the seatbelt cutter and the window, because these are things that may happen to people and that have happened to people. So these are the contingencies that you put in place, you know what I'm saying, to mitigate any damage.
So quick fire question then.
Okay.
Top 3 things that you think people should have on their EDC.
Top 3 things. First one, firearm. That's a no-brainer. You may have the anti-2A, Pro-2, I don't care what. Self-defense that's a God-given. Creator gave you that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So, whatever. So, firearm. Like I say, multi-tool or a pocket knife. If it's just a pocket knife, have a window breaker so that if you get into a situation where you need to break the window or help someone else, you can help. You see what I'm saying? And a seatbelt cutter. Application should, you should get that application. But so that's 2. Or I say a multi-tool because a multi-tool has so many different.
Right, absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? So if you need a screwdriver, Phillips head, you know what I'm saying, knife, whatever it is. The third one is a medical kit.
Medical, like in the car?
In your vehicle.
Okay.
Right.
Now, is there a difference between a medical kit and a first aid kit, or is that the same thing?
Medical kit is, I would say, is a more condensed version of first aid because it doesn't have as much first aid. There are levels with that as well. Okay. But with the medical kit, it's just simple. Your gauze, your bandages, your tweezers, your antiseptics, pain relievers, and a tourniquet.
Right.
Okay. So as long as you have that, then that's how you build your base. Right.
All right, and that's just some basic everyday top 3 things to. You got your gun,
you can
got
build
your
on top of that.
You got your medical kit.
You got your medical kit.
All right.
And you start. That's just the skeleton version.
Give me a multi-tool.
Go get your little tool. What I used to do, I had a toolbox, a plastic toolbox. I kept everything in there. You know, you can keep a first aid kit, some tools. Because really, if you look at like your car only, most of the time it only requires 2 or 3 different tools to do basic things you might need on the road. You know, like my BMW, I think it's like a 9mm star bit or something like that. It's something like that. Don't quote me on that.
Right.
But you can do so much with that. So I make sure that stays in the car because if I need to do something real quick, boom, boom, got it. That little box was on boom, boom, everything I needed. You know, jumper cable, everything. You know, so that's what I would do. That's mine.
Now, speaking on that, like for your vehicle, now you have a whole separate thing. I have an air compressor. Okay. You know what I'm saying? Think about this. Just like you carry a spare tire, that's staying ready in case you need to get a flat every day. But there are certain items that you should also carry in your vehicle to help you with the situations that are more likely to happen. See what I'm saying? Flat tire. You don't have to mess your car up, going all the way to the gas station off the highway, picking up more nails. You can get out there, air it up, and roll right onto the gas station. You know what I'm saying? What else? Flashlight.
Of course. Yes.
Yes. Definitely.
Keep the I was raised with the flashlight belief. Right. You got to have a flashlight in multiple corners of the house and the car. And
have to do a headlamp. Because, if you have to do something at night, you need both your hands working on cars. So
that headlamp, hey, that thing is strap, put it right there. You know, it's wonderful, y'all.
It is
wonderful.
It is. So, like I said, man, it's so many different things that we can use to stay ready. And that's just practicing the stay ready mindset. Grabbing your EDC, like you get up in the morning, you grab your wallet, your phone, your keys, and whatever else you grab. I grab my wallet, my phone, my keys, my strap, my this, my that, and now I'm gone. And the more you do it, you know how you get in the car and you leave, like, I forgot something. My phone.
Boom.
You start getting the habit. Now this is why it's called everyday carry. See what I'm saying? So, look, man, we're seeing what's happening out here. I just today, another shooting. 14 people injured.
When? Today?
Just today. I
Was
cannot
it?
remember
It might have
what
been
state.
yesterday though.
I think it was. Well, I saw it said 4 hours ago. So
Okay.
I don't know if it was.
So what happened?
I'm not. I don't even know. It may still.
Is there a way? Can we look it up and pull it up on the?
6 dead.
But
6 dead in Philadelphia and Tennessee in latest U.S. mass shooting.
What? In Tennessee?
We gonna.
So
Hold on.
like I'm saying,
What part of Tennessee?
Stay ready.
Stay ready is the point. You see what I'm saying? Because it's so much going
If somebody
on.
has information,
You know what I'm saying? You can
What
diffuse the
city?
situation. You can save your family with it.
What the?
Whatever going on, man.
It was
I
2
would just stay
shootings.
ready.
Oh, it's been like
Listen.
3. It's been like 3.
No, I'm saying like those are the newest ones.
Those are the
Like,
newest ones.
That's
Like,
what I'm saying. It's been 3
goodness.
back to back to back to back. Like you had the supermarket one, you've got that one, but there's one in between there too.
The
that-
school.
Right,
Uvalde,
right. The
yeah.
school, yeah. Well,
Yeah.
then there's 4 because there's 2 after that since then.
They had the graduation one.
Yes.
6 people got shot at a funeral.
Yeah, I saw that.
Now listen, bro. I don't know. There are no coincidences. Now, for some reason, these things are just popping off left and right. You can come up with whatever you want to come up with, right? Especially that craziness in Texas.
Yeah.
I don't know if y'all even looked into that, man, but that's like,
Craziness.
bruh, a kid will say, man, was that set up? Now, I'm not saying it is, but a kid would look at the situation, okay, the police are there for an hour while the man is in there shooting, and no one goes in because their senior officer tells him to stand down.
Right.
The officers have released statements that they were thinking about committing mutiny, just going in there. The parents are trying to beat them in there. They were holding the parents back with more
From
force.
going in
I
the-
seen story. One parent jumped the fence and got their kid.
Man,
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So we gonna
Yes.
sit there and watch this man continue to murder more kids?
Man.
So
That's okay. Yeah,
let's not get too far.
Right.
But that's a whole nother
But
episode.
now
this,
these
this
are the things
culture
that's
is a
going on.
whole. Like there's shootings going off, and at the very least, regardless of if it's like sales being activated or whatever nefarious shit, regardless, it's people are going crazy right now.
So
And
let's
just with the high and like the high volume of it, to where like you're just your normal everyday person like a me. I'm up here on the mothership, guys. Like I told you at the beginning of the show, I try not to be concerned because the shit is going crazy.
By the way, I like this, man.
You like it,
I
man?
ain't gonna get into
So look, this is episode 1. Explain to, and I'm talking to Brandon here. Explain to the audience what the culture is. Let them know. Break it down for them.
Well, all right. Well, you got the. I'm big into words. You know, I do poetry. But culture, you have to look at the root word of it, and it's cult. Cult is a set of people that go after, that all do the same set of behaviors. They have a pattern, and that pattern is usually led on a mass thing. You know what I'm saying? Now, when we look at culture, that's when we're looking at your traditions and your ideologies and like our
Trends.
culture trends. Yeah. But when you look at the fact of the culture we're in, or that we say is, you know, what's going on, because Asians don't subscribe to the culture, to our culture, but our culture is not just a black culture.
Right.
Our culture is a universal culture, but it's hard. It's not just hip hop though. It's hard to really say. That's why we just call it the culture, because we don't have another term for it. But like Jewish people don't subscribe to, I'm doing it for the culture. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, so it's hard to really identify what who's involved and who's not. But that's the thing. That's where it goes to the cult part. It's just a mass of people that are being led through their behaviors and the trends and all of that. And we just really want to see how it affects in real life and discuss it. So the first episode is the family. You know what I mean? It's just in real life. How does culture and the influence of culture being like outside? Even if you want to run your house, however you do inside, like once you go outside, you know what I mean? That type of thing. But like how has culture changed? How has it affected family and roles and hierarchy and, you know, understanding of family and togetherness and shit? You know what I mean?
And really, who is controlling our culture? That's really something you have to sit back. And because in the black culture, they have icons who are not political figures. They're not anything like that. We have, musicians that lead a whole wave and change the black community for the next 2 to 3 years. And
generations.
Right. These, they're not always the most fit people to do that. They're not always the people we need to represent what's best for our culture.
Yeah.
But for some reason in black culture, we accept that. We let, a felon with no way of changing and doing their lives better that plans on going back to prison dictate to, hundreds of thousands of black kids what they need to be doing for the next 2 years. You know what I mean? Like, why? Why do we do that shit?
It's entertainment, man. Whoever's the most entertaining has the most influence.
But that entertainment, in my opinion, it may be entertaining. It's entertaining to watch. But when your kid out there busting heads, going in and out of jail, fucking up, that's not entertaining. That's a fucking headache.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, in Menace to Society, right? Y'all remember Menace to Society? Yeah. Kane's grandparents were religious and on his head in the house. But once he went outside, they can't turn off the music. They can't turn off the, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
So it's like even if with that outlook, it's like, yeah, that's not right or whatever. But once you go outside, how do you turn off the world? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right. No, I understand.
And that's the thing. It's hard to get anything else other than that because everybody else gets killed if you're anything else other than entertaining. Right. So whoever lives the longest has the voice the longest. You know what I mean? Yeah. So it's like, yeah, Malcolm X probably would have changed a few ways and set some trends his damn self.
Right.
But he just wasn't around to do it. So even Nipsey Hussle, he's an entertainer.
But at least we had black leaders then. Now we don't even have black leaders. We just have entertainers.
Because being an entertainer, the only thing you got to worry about is niggas killing you. So being a leader, you got to worry about the government killing you.
That's true.
I got a question. So you said, who steers our movements, right?
Right.
So I think first we got to address what steers our movements. Then we can get to the who.
Identify
right?
the who. Oh, okay.
Identify the what.
I'm here for this.
The who.
Yeah.
So
okay.
I'm here for this.
What steers our community? And you're saying it.
What?
Music is one.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Fast money is what steers our community. The bag.
And that comes from.
I don't even think it's the bag, because there's a lot of people. There's a lot of broke dudes out here that just want pussy. I think it's instant gratification.
Check this out. Let's dive into it then. So, if music steers us, what is the music saying?
Do drugs, kill niggas,
yeah.
Make money,
get the bag.
Bitches. Yeah, get the bag, fuck bitches, kill
family
niggas.
affair, fuck other niggas bitches.
Nigga, and pull up on you and pull out the car.
A lot of fuck other niggas bitches.
Because you was a fuck nigga because you ain't got no money. I'm in a Ferrari, you in a whatever.
Right.
Mm-hmm. This is the music that's steering our culture, and now all you got to do is look at YouTube or walk outside, and you're gonna see that same reflection.
Oh yeah.
Right. So, what was music before this?
When we say before, we talking in hip hop, or we talking in
we talking
decades?
BB King? We talking like where we headed?
Let's go. Before we get to BB King, we got to go to who?
James Brown.
No, I mean, okay, you have the so-called generation now.
We went all the way.
Then, yeah,
James Brown.
we gonna
you jumped over the NWA.
We gonna end up there. You got the NWA, and you got all of them.
Okay.
Then, so you had your Public Enemies and Black Sheep
in hip hop. Yeah, Africa Bambaataa, you had KRS-One.
You had all that. Fight the Power. Right. Hit it for self. Then you got the other.
Hit it for self-destruction.
And I just turned him on today. He ain't never even.
You know what's crazy? They were telling us.
Yes, they were giving us the message. Right. If you guys ever get a chance, look up the track Self-Destruction. It's very old. It's going to sound dated, but the message is there, y'all. They tried to let everybody know. I feel like they tried to let everybody know because I don't know if you've ever heard of the conspiracy of how they approached hip-hop artists to promote violence and stuff, to privatize prisons.
I like that because that's what I was leading
That's
up
where
to.
you was headed, okay.
Exactly where I was. Touche.
Yeah.
Touche.
Yeah.
But that's where I was headed, because we can call it a conspiracy, but the things that these people that were exposing this, and it's not just one person.
Right.
I've heard the execs say this, and I've heard the brothers say this. All of them, because it was going on in the era. So there was a meeting, and the meeting was, this is how we're going to, because they have influence, they got power over.
And
We
money.
just saw what happened earlier with Public Enemy and the Fear of the Black Planet and all this other stuff.
Yeah.
We saw what happened before that in the 70s with the Panthers and all. No. So they steered it. Easy-E, 2 Live Crew. Bro, when I sit back and look at what I was listening to coming up, it was almost a no-brainer for a kid, because this is what you're listening. It's pumped through the radio.
What you put in is what you put out.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And that's just one. We're not even talking about everything else. Like the entertainers, you have the athletes, and then you have the street culture.
By itself.
So,
By itself.
to dive in a little bit to give y'all an idea of what he's talking about is the privatized prisons, okay? They funded the beginning of gangster rap, and the numbers were flubbed because they were going to put so much money in behind sales to shoot that up, to shoot the records, the charts up, and the sales.
Yeah.
So, and they knew that with this form of propaganda, that it would program a whole culture of people to act and do and think. So, 2 Live Crew, all that stuff, you're destroying the way a black man really treats and embraces a woman. Now they just bitches, hoes, shaking ass, da 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 da. You know, NWA. Now we shooting and killing each other, robbing niggas, all that shit. You know.
Now, I'm going to jump in real quick because it's funny. You said, though, 2 Live Crew and NWA.
Right.
Have we talked about them before, just me and you, at all?
Not really.
Okay. Just so y'all know. I just 2 days ago was listening to an interview by Dr. Wesley Muhammad. Y'all can look him up. And isn't it funny that 2 Live Crew and NWA both got their independent, like Ruthless Records and Luke Skywalker Records and all that. They both got that deal from the same person, from one person, and then that guy, that guy, once he like fell back, the people that he put on are the people that have signed Young Thug, the people that have signed Future, that type of shit.
Wow.
So isn't that funny though that the 2 examples you just had, one person is the reason for both of their starts.
Right. And that's all part of a plan.
That's what I'm saying. I'm just giving like the private prisons and all that.
Yeah.
That's how it works. It's Miami and it's Oakland or not Compton, and there's 2 different storylines, and they're gangsters, and we just want to smack hoes and all that.
Yeah.
But it's funneled through the same pipeline that has their own agenda over here.
Right.
Like legit. I just heard that yesterday morning.
How does this tie into family?
I mean, take the 2 combinations that you just gave.
But we're gonna break it down for them. I know you know, and you know I know.
Right.
But let's break it down for them.
I was just
okay.
But man, if you open to it, would you tell them a little bit about yourself through your
Bro, that's
story?
exactly what was on my mind.
Like,
go ahead.
Because I heard you earlier say, which one of y'all was talking about the young kid and. Anyway, I'll tell the story. So, I was in that same position, right? I was in this position where I was in a middle class neighborhood, right? Single parent home, right? And I was straight A's. I was all of that. The family was like, it's gonna be the one. And I started getting a hold of this music and BT and free. And I'm not blaming,
like,
these outlets, but these are the facts, man. This is how.
Because I know Grand Theft Auto changed me.
See, you talking about Grand Theft Auto. I'm talking about sitting on the box, 11 o'clock at night, watching Too Loud Crew, and every video is a beach party.
Yep.
And they don't just have regular.
No.
They got
Yeah.
streams, and this is on TV. You
Right.
feel what I'm saying? And what's that gonna make, man? A hornetly dude.
Mm-hmm.
That's just them facts.
Right.
Right? Then on the other hand, I'm from Dallas, so Dallas already has this culture, right? Where it was hood against hood, neighborhood against neighborhood.
Right.
And we started listening to this.
NWA. Repping they shit.
We was already on
Straight
another
out of
level.
Compton.
Yeah.
And then we went to another level, right? So I had to sit back, man, and analyze, dang, what did I do? Because I remember the straight A thing. Then I remember the girls. Then I remember the homies. Then I remember, no, I'm not going to college. Let me give me a couple years off first.
I can't feed nobody with these books. Think that what they tell them? I can't feed my
Had
kids
no
with these
reason
books.
to do it, bro. I wasn't like a lot of my partners that this was their only option.
Right. You weren't like
Nah.
that. Yeah.
But because of the music,
The influence.
and I'm a kid, bro.
And
So
then-
you
and
either
then
go
those
D-boy
girls-
or gangster or something.
And the girls, they see the same videos you see, so they acting like that. So now it's justifying what you see. Like, shit, I'm gonna get on these hoes.
Bruh.
Yep.
And,
So
and
where
that's
does it lead you?
what you mean where it leads? It only leads you two places, man. We all know
Tell
this.
them where it led you.
Two places. It led me to the pen.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I know what the influence was because I was impacted by it, right? So I'm looking at the generation now, and I'm not one of the ones that's like, man, y'all some idiots, man, because I know who fueled this generation. So I don't have that type of animosity, right? But at some point, we're going to have to wake up. Because just like they said, man, we headed for self-destruction.
But how did that affect the family, though? When you went to the pen? how did
Okay,
that
well,
affect-
I was gone for 15 years, so you got to imagine a single mama coming every month, plus sending me, you know what I'm saying, some scratch, put on my books every month without clockwork. How is it going to affect her? How is it affecting my little sister? Right? We don't even have a good relationship to this day. How does it affect me being down there? The only person who came was my mama and my little cousin. And that was it. 15 years. So we get out, how does that affect?
Right. Right.
And then you see people, so now some, they're going to be like, all right, I'm going to fight this. I'm going to fight the aggression. I'm going to fight all that. I'm going to get out. I'm going to start my business, and I don't care. I'm just going to keep doing it. And then some like, no, I'm going to do when I get home. What else I got?
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So now you talk about what's the impact of the music,
The culture.
and the culture. So at this point, it's like I'm questioning: is this a culture?
I don't know how to exactly frame it, but how do you feel about the fact that going to prison is stripes? Like if someone hasn't gone and doesn't know what that walk is,
Even in the music now, they're like, oh, he ain't got no street cred. Like, why do I have to? For me to be an artist,
but just in not even
Just
artist,
period,
in,
just period.
in life,
Yeah,
like
I
you'll
understand.
come up on guys that have been locked down and locked up and have to sit down and whatever, and if they are talking to somebody who hasn't, or you see reviews online and shit like that, if there's like, I'm just gonna say like WAP 100 might be talking about somebody, and if they ain't never been locked up, oh bro, you don't even know where we're coming from with it, man. You don't even, bro, we different individuals. You can't even talk. It's like, why does it seem so to where like the comment I was talking about before the show, Ali Sadiq, when he got sentenced to go to jail, he was kind of like, shit, what's up? I need to get up in here, see what's going on. I ain't heard about this motherfucker. What's going on here? Then you get so what do you think about that? I don't want to say glamorized, because you can't glamorize prison, but that is held on a
To high
strike.
esteem.
Yeah.
So if you're dealing with toxicity, the result is going to be toxicity. Everything about it is going to be toxic. This is why I asked the question, is this a culture? How can that be what street cred can you gain from that?
They get a lot.
You went down there
A
and
lot
you
of
was
clout.
you was a slave. Who want how is that a notch on my belt? I'm told when to sleep. I'm told when to eat. I gotta go pick fucking cotton.
Got a shit in front of people.
I gotta have this white boy, man, just what it is, on his horse, looking at me spitting tobacco down because he can't stand me. I done been through that. I done walked down them, bro, I done done that. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I got a lot of disdain. Even though I made my choices, I was steered, and it's like you don't get an equal playing field starting off, right?
And the culture makes you feel like you don't even want to. You was a straight A student, so you had the opportunity to keep going and equal your playing field, at least for your damn self. And then influences and outside, and then make you.
But you know, like I say, it is what it is. I made my choices, but I was a kid influenced with this. You know what I'm saying? You can influence a kid with anything at 5.
Yeah.
This is why you're supposed to teach your kids what you're supposed to teach your kids up until a certain age, because you're building a foundation. But yeah, man, that music and the culture is toxic. So it's gonna be held in high esteem to have street cred or to have bodies and all this other bullshit. You know what I'm saying? How long you did. And yeah, while you in it, you know what I'm saying, you flagging colors, you gotta be gang related to be tough, and the women like the bad boys.
Yeah.
You know this shit.
Let's jump in kind of right there too. Well, first I want to say we got people that posting and asking questions.
Okay.
And they're asking, you know, like, what can we do to change the culture, basically. Shout out to Sydney, what's up? Shout out to What the Frap, what's up?
I like that question, man, because that's...
So for me, it's redefining things. Like, number one, you said like the girls like the bad boys and all that stuff. So you have to redefine what's cool in a very minute way. You got to redefine what's cool. We've defined cool as outlaws. As our country, we love outlaws and underdogs.
Right.
You know, but the lines get blurred between those outlaws that are fighting for good and those outlaws that just shot your granny and took her purse. You know, so there's a difference there. And I say read it. I mean, there's a lot of things
There's a difference between Robin Hood and robbing the hood.
You're right. Yes, absolutely.
Trademark. Don't take that shit.
Right. That's a shirt. So like redefining things, like I said, what's cool. Redefining what's successful. What do you consider successful? A Bugatti with a mansion? That's over successful. You know what I mean? That's Rick Ross. You don't have to be Rick Ross to be successful. You can be a dentist in suburbia with, you know, kids that are making good grades and drive a nice Ford Explorer, and you can be successful. Why is that successful? Because we got niggas out here sucking dick for meth, living in a ditch. So yeah, compare that. All right. So I mean,
compare that. This is real.
Yeah, this is real. I'm not here today to bullshit y'all. Like I've got kids that are going into tweens that I'm having to battle the fucking culture to keep them in the straight line here, and I'm not winning all the battles. So this shit,
like for real,
you know,
it gets like that because they don't understand that little deviation of I like to do this now. We already see down the turnpike.
Right.
And it's like no. Like fucking Star Wars. I'm a geek. I don't care. Like when they say that missing somebody will lead to hurt, and then that leads to anger, then that
leads to the dark side,
and it just like they see it all the way up.
They had his whole path.
Yeah, off the rip. Like, are you? Is that a tear? Why did you drop a tear? I was thinking about my mom, and they just knew from there what it was gonna.
Right.
So when you see like your child, and you know the person that you are raising and dealing with, when they do that one thing that's going to, why are you doing that? No, I just wanted to.
Yeah, right.
No. And I know you didn't get it from me.
Right.
I know you didn't get it from me. Hey,
So,
wait a minute.
I would say, in the things, redefining what's cool, redefining what's fun.
How do you redefine cool when that's society?
It's branding and imaging. It's branding and
imaging. You got to redefine
here's
a country.
Here's how you do it though. You got to reevaluate what's important. first of all, what raising our kids, man, what's important? If we start pounding this in their head, life, longevity, you know what I'm saying, learning skills, learning trades, and they start and they see you, independence. You know what I'm saying, and they see you doing it, and they already got the role model. They got what they need to look at.
But that's a very fairy tale way. We need a way that because we just identified what is the communication for the culture. It's the music and the television and the games and that. Right. So we need how do you to have a solution? You have to address the issue. Right. Like, so if we know that those are the issues and that's the way that the propaganda is pushed. Right. How do you redefine and change the importance through those as the vehicle? You know what I'm saying?
The tool that we use for everything. We stop putting our money behind this toxicity and start putting our money behind things that aren't. You know, like, if you're not buying a nigga's album, nobody's buying it, nobody's supporting it, nobody's gonna hear it. You ain't got the money to do it, you know? There's gotta be actual substance there for it to push. So, as a whole, as a culture altogether, stop putting our money and our time behind these things. Like all this reality TV. People think having fun is going out, getting in some melodrama, throwing some drinks, and that's fun to them now because they see their reality TV stars doing it. How many people you see be at the bar with their phones like the got all these people to converse with and have a good time with, but you in your phone. You know what I'm saying? Like, you ain't interested in no human. Why the fuck are you even there? Go home. You do that shit at home on the couch.
No, you there to put on your own show.
Yes. Yep. So stop putting our time and money behind these things. That's my contribution. That's my thought.
Were there any other comments before I give what I think the solution would be?
Here you go.
Well, I don't want to stop and read on the.
I know.
Any that just stood out to you? Just give me a.
Well, I'm about solutions, so I felt
7% of runaways, and this is a lot.
That's a lot.
All right, is there any question that stood out that you remembered? These are paragraphs.
No,
shout out to all the contributing comments. I appreciate all the viewers, the supporters. I'm sorry, but we're just in the midst of, and you're watching me, and I don't want to stop and read everything. But Oak Cliff, all right, somebody.
Yeah.
I'm from the greedy.
So, I mean, what do you have to contribute to what we were just talking about?
Well, like I said, man, what we know is that if the next generation gets off the ground like the last generation, where we gonna be at? Because it's in decline mode. We in free fall.
Right.
That's why I was saying address the kids starting off.
Right.
We gotta understand. Okay, well, what's important to us? Is it your football career, or is it your academics, or what's gonna be really? We gotta cultivate it. Because if we ain't cultivate, I didn't have that. I didn't have the uncle, and I had uncles, and I asked them to this day, hey man, why you didn't pull me to the side? Did you pull me to the side? I don't remember.
Right.
But I didn't have nobody to pull me to the side.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
The only thing my uncle ever told me was don't have kids.
Yeah.
He didn't say how to not have
you
kids.
You see what I'm saying? That's mama tell you that.
What's gonna make the kid exactly? I was just like, so then when I had a kid, he was like, I told you not to have kids. I was like, that was all you said, bro. That's all you said.
I mean, he said it, but
shit, I'm in the moment. I ain't had nothing else to think about.
No, yeah,
Uncle said pull out, and when you get 2 strokes left, he ain't break it down or nothing. He was drunk and said don't have kids. And left it at that. Yeah. That was it. So. Nothing about credit. Nothing about goddamn.
So who you teach
your
credit
GPA
to?
Importance?
Like, I would teach credit to teens.
The kids.
Yes.
That's what and that's why I was saying you got to address the kids.
Teens.
Well, if you're not an adult,
right.
it's your kid.
Right.
So, like I say, from 17 on down, these are the things that we're putting in front of. I had it put in front of me, and this is a conversation I had with my cousin and several other people.
Right.
Say, man, did your mama ever talk to you about credit?
Not at all.
Did your mama ever talk to you about credit?
No.
Did you come up? Did we have courses in high school about credit? Why the fuck not?
what they did do, they was like, here, I'm going to teach you how to balance a checkbook. I graduated, checkbooks were irrelevant.
Irrelevant.
They were irrelevant. There was no more of that.
See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Fucking waste.
Right.
So we need to give them a foundation that we may not have gotten.
Right. And us as black people, we need to make sure we stay innovative. And so that we even just stay in the know, because these kids know about this technology now. They know how to hide everything on the phone. They have a whole thing. Man, I'll ground my daughter from her phone, and I'll open it up. It'll have 72 login attempts and all. And she done found ways. To hit a button, and it'll quickly flash the text and then block it real quick. So you got 2 or 3 seconds to read it. You know what I mean? Yeah. Craziness. Like
all
these
kids,
kids,
we knew. They knew.
Yes, you got to stay innovative. So, just to kind of wrap this part up with the kids, teach them young. I guess push positive content.
Yeah, I'm gonna tell y'all what I do, or what I've done, and what I still do, because I got all boys. Thank God, no girls, so I don't have that responsibility of keeping whores out of the world and shit and everything.
Right.
Like, it's just I
No. With boys, you're gonna deal with more whores.
Yeah. Yes, but I don't. but at least when I see them, I'm like, that's y'all came from another household. Like, you know what I mean? So, and that literally already happened in real life. Like, this little 5-year-old girl really likes my little 3-year-old, and she was talking about how she's already had 2 boyfriends, and I was like, you came from another household. We don't do that over here. Right. I was like, you gotta look out for that. But what I do when it comes to pushing positive content, I'll go on YouTube. And my oldest and my youngest, they both have their own playlist on YouTube, and I'll just put videos. I'll go and get African animation videos and put those, or go get the old Recess, like certain episodes, or they have like 20 of the old Magic School Bus, right? That type of stuff. Lil Bill is on there, so it's like a playlist, like 120 videos. So whenever they just want to have something on TV because they want to play with the cars on the floor, I just have that, because I know it's all pre-approved, entertaining kid stuff, in a whole playlist that is so long they're never gonna watch the whole thing all the way through. You know what I mean? So that was like my preventative measure. But I am a proponent of the culture. Like, I grew up in it. You know what I mean? I'm covered in tattoos. It's just I've already, you know what I mean? So I am who I am. So I also at the same time know that the rap music that they like is because of me. So so it's like.
But would you suggest your kids to live your life then? Like, would you say you're a component of the culture? Do you want them to follow your footsteps?
No. I always tell them that they have all of my strengths and none of my weaknesses. So they're supposed to be better.
So they surpass you.
Yeah, that's off the rip. Like, I tell Adonis that all the time. Like, no, you're just like me. You act like me, but you just have none of my weaknesses. Right. So whatever you see in me that you're like, just don't worry about it. You can do so much more. Right. And he's just like, but you're strong. I'm like, yeah, but you don't worry about it. Right. Like, it's set up like that, not to be in my shadow. Right. Like, don't worry about being like Brandon. What is your name? Right. You're Adonis. You're supposed to be better than Brandon. Right. I'm growing you. Like, when we grow food together and shit, I'm like, see how this one's bigger than that one? It came from that seed. That's how it's supposed to work. That type of shit. Right. But people in their everyday walk of life are gonna just be like that all the time. That's just me, and I know it. But I know I can't be like, all black people just need to start growing food with their kids and making teachable moments. Like, but seriously, what I think a solution would be is to look at history. If this is where the culture is now, let's just go back to right before this happened.
Touché.
You know what I'm saying? Like, right before. You know what I mean? Like, right before crack. Right before Jerry curls, because we don't need that again. Like, right before all of that. Like, what were we on? What were we doing? We were segregated, but we were building our own shit. Right. We were in charge of our own health. We made music that was owned by James Brown, owned his own shit. Right. You know what I mean? We had these different communities that were actually linked together.
Right.
Dallas and Texas was linked to California.
Right.
And festivals would happen of just black festivals. That
All
were
due
just,
to families.
yes.
Right.
Yes. And it's like, so if we just go right to what we're doing right before, now that we can identify the proponents that shifted culture in such a way, right before those proponents became pillars in it, what, we were doing pretty good.
Right.
Name some things that we were doing.
We had banks. Let's start there. Let's fucking start there. We had banks. We had whole communities, neighborhoods of schools, of clinics, of law firms. We had construction. We had transportation services. Now it wasn't just black bus lines. A black man had his own railway. You know what I mean? Like,
you have to understand this with the culture here, where we had all those things. Like, they really had to fight to get the education for them things. So now that they've opened the door where we don't have to fight to get that education, they've closed your minds with the propaganda to want the information.
Yep. Yeah, that's exactly what it is.
So now you don't want to be a lawyer. You want to be a thug.
Because you have all the options on the table.
Yeah.
And you want just the dessert. You want just the sweet tooth. You just want what's going to be the sweetest thing to you.
That's so funny. Snoop, famous line. It was a skit. What you want to be when you grow up? I want to be a motherfucking gangster.
Yeah.
And then the music, dun dun dun.
And that was
murder was the
jam,
case.
Bro.
Yeah.
You hear me?
Yeah. Yeah.
And it influenced a whole generation.
And the thing is, what we don't talk about it. Y'all about to agree with me. There's so many times in our lives where we are in real life, real world situations, and a song or a scene from a movie or a line will pop in our head, and we'll be like, "Damn, this is like that."
Yeah.
Or, "Damn, this is like that moment," and that will literally make you look at the what's ever happening in a way like, this happened. This reminds me of that song. Or, you know what I'm saying? I've heard Scarface pop in my head so many times in real world situations to where like I've known, and not blaming this on Scarface because this probably wasn't him in my head at this point, but it's been time. Mama told me never stop until I bust a nut. Fuck the world if they can't adjust. Tupac has popped in my head so many times right before I know I'm about to bust. Or like she's tired and maybe I should stop. No. But like, oh, y'all. But like that really influences you. That really there are things in the culture that you decide is a part of the way you walk life. Like there's moments in life to where niggas that are not supposed to be tough, they are not ever supposed to be the tough guy role, will be in a moment and that fucking superhero movie comes through and they start hearing goddamn DMX goddamn hitting y'all gonna make me loot and this little dude will just try it and go for it and get demolished because of all.
Shout out to Josh Turner. Sorry. Now he just said I support him. He support me. Shout out to Josh. So not only with music and those lines, like you're saying, not only do we judge people on like the music they listen to, we judge on how many of the lyrics you know. You better know all the lyrics. Yeah. That's a ploy too. That's so you memorize. You can't just listen and enjoy it. Like me, I don't be memorizing any lines hardly. Like it takes 10 years of me listening to some music for me to memorize the lines. And that's just me.
I gotta memorize.
I know. But that's the programming.
If it's some good shit, especially like those classic songs.
Part of our culture is being able to get together. We spin the lines. Part of our culture
is that.
Making sure not only do you know the song, you know it word for word. That's programming.
True.
Touché. That's all I can say, man. That's all I can say. So it's not the words that your daddy quoted you,
no.
Or the instructions your uncle gave you, or what your grand is.
Or they might not have been there. So
I mean, for
all
whatever
I got
reason,
is Pimp C.
Exactly. That's what I say. For whatever reason, because I'm Pimp C as well. I'm from, you know what I'm saying? So
and it's been so many. I've been so influenced to where when I finally did meet my dad at 18, and he was like, "Bro, I'm sorry I wasn't there." I was like, "Oh, it's cool. I had YouTube and Pimp C. I figured it out." It brought tears to his eyes. I was like, "It's cool." But like now looking back at it, Like there's truly, like Pimp C. There's information like when a girl started tripping, I would like a Pimp C line would come to my head, or like if I knew I was gonna break
up. Terrible advice, right?
No, some of it gave me clarity.
Yeah.
I got a baby, but his mama act like she ain't mine. Wicked women using children to live on. Want to hurt and try to hate because you know the thrill is gone.
Mm-hmm. Now, Pimp C had a little difference thing. He
had
a little bit.
But still, just the fact of he's an entertainer. But this is the only place I'm going to get it from. Like, Lil Boosie is where I realized, oh, you got to punch the biggest nigga first. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? He had said something in the song, I don't remember the line, but that's when I realized, oh, if you are if you a short nigga, you got to go at the big one first. Don't go at your eye level guy. You got to scare them away. And I got that from Boosie. Right. When it could have been, make sure you just friends with the big guy before they get there or something like that. Right? There's other ways to go about it. But our culture is hey, we got rhythm, nigga. It's hard to fight something that got a bop.
Right. Yeah, bro. And when you start studying the music industry, you understand all of that. You start delving down that rabbit hole where they're talking about frequencies, and this is not, some kook shit. These are the MCs and the DJs and the dudes that make the music telling you, we understand. They got books.
So why would they change the frequencies to put in the music then? Like, we know that they already use it for propaganda to make money, like through prisons and so many other things, fashion and all that, drugs, all that type of shit. But why would they change the frequencies in it?
That's a whole other rabbit hole. Right? You really got to do the research, because I can sit here and tell you frequency this and frequency that, and that's not my field. But from what I've studied, they know what they're doing with the frequencies. They know how they know
talking about 808s and it's a low vibrational.
They change the mood. They can hit frequencies that start secreting certain chemicals
in your brain.
They have different bruh.
So is our culture just the amalgamation of different manipulated things?
Yes.
Exactly.
Yes.
Is it really a culture? Just look at every other culture. What are their signifiers? What are ours?
Right.
Our signifiers are...
But if you look at a cult and then look at our culture and look at the signifiers, it lines up better.
Yeah, but...
So let's reel it back real quick.
It does.
Because we got to stay on the family.
It does. If you take away that everybody's not matching in white or whatever, the bullet points on a cult and what our culture would fall under and how we move is really lines up. But if you look at other cultures and then our culture, you'll miss more than line up. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like
ours fits in a more of an agenda-based
platform.
Yes.
Agenda-based movement.
Seems like we're living in a multi-level marketing scheme.
Right, we're in a Ponzi scheme.
Yes.
So, we talked about the kids. Let's talk about the culture and how it influences relationships and how it has changed us from being husbands and fathers and what we are today. Are we husbands and fathers anymore? Is that what's in... Are we just niggas? Are we, what are we? Are we a child support check? What are we?
Well, I mean, as men, we are providers.
No, I mean, I understand that, but what are we labeled in our culture?
No, that is if you cannot provide, you are not significant, you ain't shit. These only looking for rich niggas. Is your Rolex real? You are a child support check, or you just some dick. Yeah. What can you provide?
Okay, there you go. That's what I'm looking for.
Like,
so
that's it. Like, that's all.
What parts of our culture do you think?
Who's giving the $40 up?
Right. Yes. But what parts of our culture do you think are influencing our roles as man and woman in these relationships?
Entertainment? You think more movies or still music?
Both. TV.
Both.
TV.
The music.
TV.
When I say music,
facts.
The TV is the one. That's the main one. But when I say music, we're talking about the so-called behind the scene stuff that happens. You see what I'm saying? So it's not now. It is the music too, because you know your Megan and all your other ones, and then your brother.
But the television, but the reality shows, Megan gives you the music and the words for the hot girl summer. The reality show, Love and Hip Hop, shows you how to live your hot girl summer.
Yeah.
So you get both.
Yep. This is how jobs.
So and it's not just. I'm not just.
I gotta do jobs.
Throwing
like,
out a
this
Megan,
how you
but
do
it's
it in
a
real
lot.
life. Right. This ain't just a music video. These bitches do hot girl summer, and I can watch it. All right, she get dressed up like this and da-da-da-da-da-da. It's the guy.
What is it? Fuck nigga free now?
Yep.
The new one.
Yep.
Yeah.
I don't know nothing about nothing.
You don't need that. You ain't missing nothing. Just more propaganda.
And it's crazy because when a song like that is like popular, you know, I'm fuck nigga free and I'm single again and I'm hanging out the window twerking with my friends and shit. Like when you look online, there's girlfriends and married women that's just going with the trend of it.
Now they out there doing it.
But now that's your anthem. You love that song, and just because it's a bop, or just because it's the trend or the wave right now, that's gonna cause something in your household. Now you know what I'm saying. Now, like I don't give a fuck what any guy says. Oh, it's just a song. No, if you see your woman yelling out some single woman shit, that always gonna make you like,
yeah.
Pipe your ass down. Wait a minute. You got way too much heart behind that.
Right. Like you can go live that life.
Yeah.
You think?
Why do you
think
know
hot
it word
girl
for word?
summer? Look, you think hot girl summer fun? You should try being a man single in America. That shit is fun. Mm-hmm. That's fun.
It's fun.
So
that's fun. That's an amusement park.
Yes. Go out there if you want to.
But I feel like it's really influenced, like just. Do you know how it's influenced relationships the most?
Yeah, go ahead.
All these baby mamas and baby daddies.
Yeah.
It's not just about the fact that your relationship didn't work, but now when you get in a new relationship, you still have a remnant of the old relationship and a child.
Right.
Which is added responsibility onto the new person that you just got with.
Not only that.
So that changes the whole relationship dynamic completely right there.
Not only that, but now you've also got a way to not be a parent 3 to 5 days a week if you don't want to.
So
hit a bomb.
So let me ask you a question. So are you saying that that's...
Hold on. Mm-hmm. You want to touch on that?
No, I'm just letting...
Before we go on?
Let me simmer.
No, it's just a question on that.
Okay, go ahead.
So you saying that the reality TV...
Yeah, if you can... Look, if you are a parent, let's say you got 2 kids, and your responsibility are these 2 kids, all right? And you see everyone else turning up this hot girl summer. Or, this works for men and women. This isn't a sexist thing, but I'm going to use women as an example here, okay? But you see everybody, they turning up, especially social media. You watching everybody, they going to the this and this ball, and they all turning up. I got my kids, and me and this nigga together, and these are his kids, and we ain't got no, you know what I mean? Ain't no babysitter. But now, I done divorced and split up with your ass. Now I can go get me a good weekend or 2 in. You know what I'm saying? And that dives more into communication than just the culture. You can communicate with your partner and work that shit out, but you're afraid that shit won't be equal. People want relationships to be mutual, and instead of being what works, because sometimes a relationship can't be mutual. It can't be. If you're a housewife and this nigga worked 5 jobs to provide, it can't be mutual.
You can't.
But everybody wants everything.
But that
to be
understanding
mutual.
has been changed over the last few. They used to be understood.
Absolutely.
They used to not even have to be a conversation. And in other cultures, like the Latino, shout out to y'all, love y'all, La Raza. But but there's an understanding that the person that's busting their ass and out there just sweating and hard work and labor, when they come home, there is okay, you did your thing. It's not gonna be a mutual beneficial. We both have to get foot rubs tonight. Right. You know what I mean? That type of shit. And sometimes when you do have the culture as your guide, it will confuse you between what is right and what is
expected.
Thank you. Yes. And there's no clear differentiate like for this generation, like boys and girls, they truly feel like what they feel should be what it is. Period. And that's a dangerous mindset to have.
Right.
Because now you want to go have a hot girl summer because you want to have a hot girl summer, regardless of the responsibilities or the commitments or the balance or any of that. You know what I mean?
Right.
And that happens all the time. I blame Drake for a lot of shit.
Yeah.
Because like,
why can't more of you niggas have God's plan and bring me a stack of money? I mean,
like, but even if you're looking at the movies or like I really like the television, but even if you're looking at the movies, the first thing that comes to my head is the thin line between love and hate. Thin line between love and hate gave you a perfect example of a toxic relationship and a guy that was toxic himself, and now trying to do the culture, be the player, you know what I'm saying, be on your shit, got you in some shit, and it's really fucking up your real love, your real shit, your real soulmate going on over here because you were trying to be what you saw on TV, what you thought was cool, and then you got your ass in some shit.
Right.
Police office, police station, crying,
broke
down on bricks. She put that man shit on the ground. Damn.
I ain't never had that happen.
I don't know. You say you blame Drake, man. I've been walking through the hood for the longest.
But Drake made these niggas so emotional to where now we can't differentiate manhood. He made it so okay to. He made it so okay to express your emotions that niggas feel like we got to get our emotions out as much as the woman get her emotions out. So now we just arguing. We used to know you don't argue with no woman. Let her get her shit off and then, all right, we'll talk logically later. But Drake make it feel like, I need to talk to
But
him.
was that healthy in its own, though? Was not arguing with the woman just as healthy as arguing with the woman? Like,
it was working.
Was it?
When we go back and look at how the culture was right before these proponents came in,
before
how the hierarchy was working.
I can't support that. I'm a full supporter of communication.
That's what I'm saying. I'm just going back to my era and like, it's the same thing. We ain't even talking about reality TV. You walk through the hood, it's the baby mamas and the baby daddies and the uncles telling the little boys, how many girlfriends you got, boy? Oh, I got 2. Oh, you ain't got enough, boy. You better go. You know what I'm saying? So that culture, that's what shifted that. You know what I'm saying? Now, before us, you did have the grandpas, but they had families. Even if they had a whole different family, he had a family.
Yeah.
Not just he had to.
Yeah.
No, I'm not condoning either.
He wasn't just a rolling stone. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But he took care of both families. Now it's even from my generation, the dude just ain't doing shit, or the woman just trifling, and it's just a revolving circle. You know what I'm saying? Now coming to look at this generation, you may blame Drake and some other artists or some other because they contribute. Because now y'all living y'all little Michael.
Niggas is so estrogen filled now.
I don't jam Drake.
It's so cool to be so emotional that we cannot have a hierarchy of the man as the headship because we keep allowing ourselves to come down emotionally and mentally to the level that we want. You know what I'm saying? We want to just be heard and felt too.
Right. You think that was so Drake steered out of that?
I don't feel
he always blames
who else? Who else?
Drake blamed Drake because Drake light skin.
I don't listen
who else in the last 15 years?
Let me ask you. He always blamed Drake because Drake light skin.
Who else in the last 15 years?
He think all light skinned niggas emotional.
Will Smith just got to his simp stage. Who else? T-Pain. But who else? Like who else? T-Pain is dark skinned. He's a simp too. But who else than Drake?
Dark skinned niggas is emotional. They emotional. They just as emotional as light skinned.
Bro, you done had simps on TV for the longest, man.
Nah. Name. He's this king simp.
Coming to America. You remember Coming to America? Remember light skinned nigga with the curl? I mean, you been having simps in movies and come on, man, skits in the music.
I'm gonna tell you who
you
did it for me.
Simps, bro.
You can say whatever you want about Drake. I'm gonna tell you the nigga that really did it.
Who?
T.I. You can have whatever you like. That song is what did it, nigga. More than anything Drake did.
Y'all. you got like a cut thing?
Z's in control of that.
Can we get a pop?
Nah, you
T.I. So one T.I. song out of all that classic material he got. You think that one song had niggas simp? Who was?
No, it just changed the dynamic. It was a simp.
Hell
it was,
no.
you know what I mean?
No, man.
You can have whatever you like.
Don't save her. You don't want to.
No, because T.I. definitely he coined that phrase. It ain't tricking if you got it. He definitely coined that phrase, and then and that expanded into if I don't get whatever I want, nigga, you broke.
That
if y'all think T.I. push that movement, okay.
I'm just saying. I'm just like, but that's a very good point because in that
it's a good point.
In that song, he said,
I was
it ain't
dating
if you got it.
when that shit hit. I was in the prime of dating when that shit hit. I felt the shift.
The shift.
It went from I'm not working
changed
hard.
The dynamics of the economics.
Yes,
we gotta use
it went
big
from
words
I'm not working hard for it no more.
We need to
You
call
was
him
supposed to give it to
expeditiously
me.
and go and get him on the line, man.
Yes.
Because I say no.
We gotta use big words talking about Tip. He changed. He rapidly changed the exponential potential of the economics in a relationship.
Yeah. Buddy was very. I mean, even though it was already a factor in dating, it became the factor.
That was it.
Yeah.
Damn. Because it was the first time you heard a man with.
How does that hook go? Sing the hook to me.
You can have whatever you like.
Yeah.
Stacks on deck, Patron on ice. We can pop bottles all night, girl. You can have whatever you like. Wait.
He talking about the club.
No,
he ain't talking about. He talking about the club.
Oh,
that's what you just saying, man. Come on, yeah. We drinking over here. Come on. Yeah, because you know what's going to happen.
I wish I could bring a lyric.
Like it's Drake.
You can say it's Drake, whatever.
The only thing before Drake that I feel like really fucked with the culture as it is, this Americanized, the hip hop thing that's turned into lifestyles, is MTV. MTV and Drake.
MTV is accredited for pushing ADHD in the style of their video editing.
Yes.
How everything's just real quick. Up here it is. Up it's gone. Here. Their editing style is attributed to the ADD amongst our mid 20s into late 30s, 40s age group.
Interesting.
So,
because they used to play the whole video.
They used to play the whole video.
Yeah.
And that changed on 106 Park. I saw that change.
Exactly. You ain't got no ADHD, do you? I don't think
so. How has the dynamic in parenting changed then between mom and daughters? like, because legit, that little 5-year-old that was talking about her boyfriends and everything, I've seen multiple men at her house. So I just automatically knew, oh, that's where you get it from. So, you know what I mean? That type of thing. But I also know, what her mom's favorite song is just from overhearing it all the time. You know what I mean? Right. So it's like, this all just rolls together. But no, you can't hold hands with my son.
What's the question?
So how has the culture shifted parenting then?
Okay, so as the generations go on, are they worsening or are they getting better?
Worse.
Okay, so if a lot of this is contributed to music and entertainment, yada, 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 okay, so you're going to have the gangsters being the daddies. And as toxic as this was, I got a lot of partners that had sons with their rags on.
With them.
With the colors.
Yeah.
So what do they get? Now they're growing up. Now they got a whole different type of music, and they still gang banging. So these are the parents now, right? These are the ones that grew up. Hey man, my grandmama's still in the projects on food stamps. No, not. But this is what they're looking at. My aunt, you got one that may have made it out, and she worked real estate. That's considered making it out. In the hood.
In the hood, hell yeah.
You know
I don't feel like it's worse. I feel a slight change. We got like the blurred community. You know what I mean? The black nerds. We got a few, but I don't contribute that to a culture change. I contribute that to an oversaturation change. And what I mean by
but the blurred community, I feel, has always been there, but now they just have.
I don't think they've always been there.
Yeah, oh no, they have.
Then who was Urkel based off of?
I know that.
They been having.
But they just have the internet now to put out a community of.
Well, it's growing though. It's growing.
Okay.
So I just heard about it. Now my son is like that.
Right.
Star
So this is
football
what
player,
I'm saying.
but he don't even kick it with everybody. He kicks it with the
Nerds.
nerds.
So I'm hoping to make all my boys nerds.
What I'm saying with this is now we have access to so many things. Like there's so many, you can have you can go watch anime all day.
There's so many alternative paths.
There's so many alternative paths where when we were coming up, it was that.
It was the funnel.
Yes, like you said, the bad boys got the girls. Like I had a lot of trouble dating. I dated a lot of white girls.
It's just the box.
Right. I dated a lot of white girls because I come from Detroit. I saw what thugging and drugs and shit did. You know, my brother that's dead, rest in peace, Chris. I witnessed that. Mm-hmm. So what I had to do for myself was not be that. But the thing is, in our culture, that's what was the prominent thing, you know?
But the what it seems like the only people that get a chance to avoid that are the ones that get a chance to see it from somebody else.
Right.
Like if you're that first child, or you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You gotta run into everything head on.
Right.
You gotta deal with the culture and everything outside. And then somebody younger than you gets to looking like.
Most of the times with no daddies, right?
Right, and then that's the process.
Right.
Like if you're a mom and you're a single mom, if you have 4 kids, you're hoping that the baby sees what the older 3. You know what I'm saying? And he's the one that I really like Rizza Islam, and when I hear his story, he has the exact same story as Kendrick Lamar.
Right.
But he was the baby. So by the time it was time for him to grow up, nobody wanted him to be in a gang because all his brothers already were. Nobody wanted him to, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
So he was able to stay clear and stay focused and be this in tune, you know what I'm saying, spiritual brother, you know what I mean?
Right.
But if you're that first one off the porch, it's hard to fight everything out here in the world, man.
Yeah.
If you that first one off the porch, and me, I'm an only child. I was off the porch. It was nobody to look like, can I step off of this?
Right.
It was just me looking.
Right.
Shit. I see it on TV, look good. I'm out here, nigga.
What was
you mean? All my friends. We out here.
Personal question. But,
Yeah.
Okay, so what was Pops?
He's a heroin addict. And like he had dipped. My mom kicked him out. So it wasn't like no, he just dipped. It was like he was trying to figure out how to function and also be a dad.
As an addict.
Yeah, and my mom was just like, nigga, please, that's not gonna
That's
work.
why I asked that question, because there's another aspect to why we are the way we are. Because we focus on music and this, but we got to get into government policies and these things that help steer us in this funnel.
Prime example, you say government policies. You got a lot of women that are on like Section 8 and government housing, and they're not allowed
to have a man.
But is that still a thing?
Yeah, that's still a thing. You
That's
can't
still
go
a
move
thing?
in. You can't. You have to be approved yourself and shit. And if you got a man, they're not gonna approve it. So
even once you're on Section 8, you can't have a man move in with you after.
No,
Right.
I've been through it.
So women that be on Section 8 for a long time, but they be single for a long time too. Is that like?
well, they still date. You just
but
can't be
but
a
I'm
prominent figure in the home.
And so that's what I'm saying. Like, so women that be like single, like household, they don't have anybody in the house over a long time.
Right.
They're also on Section 8. That can be a strategy.
Yes.
Wow.
That is the strategy, but
I didn't know that.
they do it.
Yeah.
But
Damn. that is now part of the culture, and that has nothing to do with music or anything.
No.
That's government. But now that's part of the culture.
Convenience. That's all that has to do with convenience.
But it's part of the culture now.
Right.
That's
That's one of the toxic parts.
Man.
Why you think all the even the music, all the I was raised in the projects, no dad, just mom.
You weren't allowed to be there anyway.
Right.
Now, where the heroin come from? And crack and all this that fueled
Right.
everything.
Molded is the word.
This whole situation. I don't know if people ever looked at the documentary about projects, how they started.
It's a project.
It was a literal project.
Yep.
So, and they had run tests on lab mice earlier before this
Project
point.
25.
Got to look this stuff up.
Project 25. If you have not seen that, if you look at how they already, like in the 70s, figured out exactly what was going to happen to civilization, the way that they constructed America and society to be, like in housing and in the structure of society.
Right.
They knew in the 70s exactly, like behavior-wise, how the people were going to change and shift. And then they took that research that they did like 1,000 times, right? And then they started, like, so when, all right, the culture is an amalgamation of just different manipulated things. From Project 25 is where they figured out, all right, we need to manipulate this at this stage,
right,
to get this crowd of them to do this.
Right.
Because they figured out just through the lab mice that men are going to become effeminate, moms are going to stop, they're going to start to lose their maternal nature. Like men and women are gonna start only procreating together, but not having relationships anymore. They're gonna be stacked on top of each other so much that it'll be aggressive men and beta men, and the women will be friends with all the beta men, but only want the alpha men. But then they'll get tired of the alpha men being so aggressive. Like they had it all in like the 70s. They figured out the behaviors that was gonna happen, and then they were like, all right, now take out the rats. Build real ones and fill it with niggas and Latinos.
Yeah.
And then let's sit back, give them crack at the right time, give them heroin, and just wait on it. And they let that shit simmer like a gumbo.
Right. Give them crack at the right time.
Yeah.
So we're going to give them the fuel to do all of this at the right time. And we already know these are government documents. What was it, Iran-Contra affair?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And that's the Alphabet Boys flew into cocaine and
that's a part of culture that, because the biggest thing that you can be right now is a successful drug dealer. That's the greatest thing you could be right now. And we don't even realize that the reason why we prop up crack dealers and smugglers and trafficking and da-da-da and all that type of stuff is because at one point the government made a deal with an outside country to bring drugs into only our neighborhood and then see what happens.
Yeah.
And the effects of that is we took lemons and lemonade again. Like, we took the word nigga and made it cool. We took the worst biological poisoning you could give a people and turned it into, if you can make money and get yourself out the hood using it, you're awesome. You're great. You know what I'm saying? Like that is, like, that's so crazy. Yeah. In the future, there's gonna be a case study of us in this time.
Oh yeah.
There's gonna be a real case study on how we were able to take every connotation with negativity and make it positive for our own betterment or our own like pseudo survival. Because regardless of if we didn't have any hip hop to voice it through, they still would have made a deal with Iran-Contra and there still would have been cocaine in the streets of LA. You know what I mean? But now, because we have music and we have this culture, now they can express, oh, I'm making money and I'm gonna flip it. Yeah, my block is dying, but I just bought a goddamn Benz. Straight cash, nigga.
Yes.
All cash. I'm rich, bitch.
Right.
Like, we're able to flip it and take everything negative and make it positive just to put a smile on it.
That wasn't a positive though, man.
But we've made it a positive. The Migos got a whole career being world-class drug dealers.
It's not an actual positive, but we have imaged it as a positive.
Yeah,
but that's
just to put a smile on. You know how people have a bad situation, they be like, well, we have to have a silver lining. We will silver lining our way all the way until we've got Stockholm. You know what I mean?
Right.
Negative is good. Bad is good. It's turned up. It's
yeah, because we.
Because what you gonna do if you just call it for what it is? We're plagued by crack in the city, and the government gave it to us, and there's no way that we can stop it, and there's nobody to sue.
Right.
So the only way all right, did you make some money off of it? Yeah, I got gold chains on. Shit, all right, that's good. Right. And you know what I mean? Or like with the welfare system. Oh, your dad wasn't in the house. And you didn't know that your dad couldn't be in the house because your mom was on Section 8. And the reason why your mom was on Section 8 is because she needed enough money to be able to take out on trips and do cool shit. So you don't know why you were raised the way you were, but since you were, you just, man, I'm a project baby.
Right.
You don't realize that the only reason you was in the projects is because that's where the Section 8 sent them.
Right.
And the only reason you didn't have a dad is because he wasn't allowed in. So now
normal.
you just a fatherless project baby out here with you and all your niggas.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's like, but you got to put a happy face on it because if you call it for just what it is, it's too big to deal with. It's too big to combat. You know what I mean?
No, but
go ahead.
Just put a smile on it's almost like just put a band-aid on the gunshot wound.
That's what we've been doing.
And that's why we steady declining.
Right.
Because we gotta address the situation or address the problem. That smile, that's only gonna go so far. That smile goes so far as all them homies that I got that's dead. That was either gangbanging or trying to sell dope. All the ones that got the life sentences, all the ones that had little time, got out, came back because they tried to rob a bank. I know. You know what I'm saying? So I'm looking at it from a different perspective. Yeah, I saw the result. I lived it. A lot of people can't say that. Some people can, some people can't. But when I see it, that's why I say that smile was nothing. That smile really worked against us because it kept us from seeing what we really need to deal with.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's almost like where my daddy at. Well, I'm gonna go throw your own party.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
We didn't answer the question.
We still didn't answer the question, and we didn't deal with where daddy at.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? If that happened, or where my mama at, where whoever is. You know what I'm saying? So we got to start dealing with them situations.
But you talking about dealing with trauma, generational trauma.
Right.
It got to be dealt with.
But for a culture to have to deal with generational trauma, because you're talking about healing. For a culture to deal with their trauma, especially our culture, that is such a very deep and sore that had a lot of salt and lemon poured into it. You know what I mean?
Remember the question she asked?
To fix that.
How do you fix it?
Right.
You got to address the problem. Whether I don't care about.
But that's a very deep, that's a very deep cavern to stitch
I mean, it's
up.
a valley that's got to be crossed, though.
So I'm gonna give you an example. I'm with you. I see the person running game up. I pull your coattail. I'm holler at you. Now I told you, you got to deal with the situation. If you don't want to deal with the situation, that gang gonna keep getting ran up.
But we ain't got nobody to pull our coattail collectively and break down what's being run as game. Unless we're gonna all start listening to Farrakhan again.
One of the biggest games that they pulled on us is now he's a hater. That hater shit was the biggest bunch of haters gave liars a platform to talk on. Like using the term hater. You know? Using the term, oh, you're a hater.
That's part of the culture too. I see.
It's
that
part of the culture. Oh, he's a hater. Like, Brandon goes, he robs Z, he robs me, steals out our house. Now y'all kicking it. Now I call him, hey man, I'm kicking it with Brandon. Hey nigga, you better be careful. He stole out of me and Z's house.
Oh, you just
that nigga's a hater.
That nigga hating, bro.
No, that's what happened.
That was the one of the fucking tools. That was the lie. You know what I mean? Not all hating. There is hating.
Yeah.
But if it's a fact, that's not hating. That's the truth.
Right.
And we got to start, embracing that.
But as the culture, we are really good with coming up with words. Bling, bling, whatever. You know what I'm saying?
Off the chain.
But we're really good with coming up with words and terms. But now that creativeness is not adultery. It's entanglement. You know what I mean? It's not the truth. It's not a lie. It's my story. It's my truth. And that's the thing, adding a my truth to it. It's not the lie. And I'm not
alternative facts.
Yeah, but that's not really our culture. But we fall right into it.
Right.
But I'm gonna speak my truth. Everybody got their own truth. That type of shit. We'll dismiss a lie or being wrong. I'm not wrong. I just see it from your perspective. That type of shit. You know what I mean? And now everybody has to be allotted this understanding. You got to see it from their perspective, and even if they're wrong, well, you got to see what pushed them to be wrong. What made them wrong?
Can I read this?
Yeah.
Okay, it says, if someone hears truth from someone, they call them a hater. A lot of people hate uncomfortable conversations. They go into denial and use that term hater to someone who tried to confront them about their issues.
Touche. I'm telling you.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
Josh,
yeah, that's true though.
Yeah.
That's true though. It's one of those things to where because we don't have. I'm just gonna say it, man. We don't have manhood, because to differentiate between somebody hating and somebody really trying to just tell you a correction, a constructive criticism, you have to have logic and rationale. You have to get out of yourself. You gotta get out of your feelings. You know what I mean? And that rational thought and that logical and that critical thinking aspect of it is a thing that comes from men. That comes from your uncle pointing shit out to you. That comes from your dad. That comes from hell. Even boys help each other when it comes to constructive criticism on when they're young. You know what I mean? Like, your friends can roast you because you boys, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, that helps you develop who you are. And because everything is so politically correct, and everybody has to be allotted that bullshit space to see it from their way, so they have room to spin everything. Right. That now we don't have a place of just sound logic or rationale. It looks like, to me at least. Right. It's like everything, no matter if you come with a fact, yeah, but you don't know how they felt though. Right. No, bitch, it's still a fact. Right. It's still a fact. Wrong. Like, it's still, yeah. And like, but because we have that now, and you can't just say that's what it is. It's this side and it's that side. And that's where fathers. That's wisdom. You know what I mean? That's discernment. Get out of my head. But that comes from those qualities that we don't have, because this is not pushed. It's not even pushed to be passed down. Like we'll say, being put on game. Right. And that's such an umbrella thing, to where like you don't realize you need to have an emotional IQ. You need to have a relationship. You need to have common sense, and then a street knowledge, and then, you know what I'm saying, you need to be able to understand situations. Like, that's why guys be gorillas in every situation. Right. Because they don't know how to discern when to move and how to move. There's no tact. There's no tact. Right. And in the proponents of the culture, there's no tact. Will Smith just smacked Chris Rock on the Oscars. Right. There's no tact. There's no tact at all. It's go for it. It's instant gratification.
Then that goes to, we really got to know what's going on.
What do you mean?
Just with a lot of stuff, because a lot of stuff is theatrics, and we paying attention to it and don't know that it's theatrics. You know, there's a
Do you feel like it was fake?
Because
I said that on the show.
I'm going to say this.
I know the movie. Go ahead.
Clip that he actually played out, bro.
But I thought that was a fake. I thought a dude did a parody of that on YouTube.
Did he?
I don't know. I looked into it.
No, that's what I heard. There's a guy that played, that was the Will Smith in that situation, in the scene, and it's his YouTube. He did a parody of it, and yeah.
And they turned it into, if that's the truth, then I stand corrected. But yeah, I saw that too. Now, like you said, I had questions about it. You know, what was the purpose of that, Will? Mm-hmm. We every comedian does that.
And better than that.
Yes. You know what I'm saying?
There's been some gut-wrenching, cringe-worthy
Ricky
shit
Gervais
said.
at the Golden Globes would have got, y'all know the Golden Globes guy that always roast him every year he goes, man, he say stuff that I would think somebody would catch him backstage for real. Right. Like what Chris did.
Bro, you got the roast is everybody gets roasted like that.
Yeah. Right.
Now, like I say, being emotional about it, if that's you, nah, I don't know. Either way, and it really don't even matter. But I still feel like that was a distraction. Yeah, any distraction to stage. So I mean, why is everybody focusing on that? It's trending. It's this. It's that. And you got this whole war going on, and you got this threat of World War III going on. We focusing on it at work, Facebook, YouTube.
Priorities. Just like Josh Turner said, it's the comfort. It's uncomfortable. Those topics you're talking about are uncomfortable to watch and uncomfortable to think about. But it's entertaining. We can joke over here about this and that and just leave that out the conversation, because I'm not comfortable talking about kids getting killed in Ukraine or whatever. You know,
until they shoot one of them bad boys over somewhere close to here. Right. Now you're trying to figure out, well, what do I need to do? Well, when it was uncomfortable is when you're supposed to address this. Right. That's the most comfortable time. You just you're placing it in an uncomfortable space.
Right.
You better address it now. It's just like you hear some air coming out your tire, and you get out and you go in the store and you come back and like, I'll dress in a second. Damn, clean clothes on. I don't feel like, and you on 65.
Right.
Now you really uncomfortable. So are you more uncomfortable in this situation or that situation?
Right.
But you're not thinking about it because you're watching Will Smith.
Right.
Or we watching whatever the hell else they got going
Johnny
on.
Depp.
Johnny Depp. Like who get?
Yeah.
That's his money. That's her. Whatever they got going on.
She should. In his
I ain't
bed,
got to
that's
that
his
level.
bed. Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So yeah, man. I don't know. That's.
So let's reel it back. Let's do like a quick recap because we're hitting time now.
Okay.
What would we tell people about how to adjust their lifestyle to keep their family from negatively being impacted by the culture? Solutions only.
That's on y'all. I can tell you what I do in my household.
Right.
That's on y'all. Y'all.
Well, I mean, that's the whole purpose they're watching right now.
I-
They want to hear advice. So
I follow God. As for me and my household, we gonna serve the Most High, and that's just what I stand on. Period, because that gives you discernment, that gives you wisdom, that gives you logic, that gives you rationale, that gives you self-control, a little bit more willpower. You know what I mean? And it gives you better understanding of what's going on. So then when you see shit is going left or shit is going right, you have a compass, you know what I mean? Not just for your morals and your principles, but for you to walk by. So I use that. We thank God for everything that we have, and we talk amongst ourselves about the things we need to keep and the things that we're trying to achieve. And that's from the 3-year-olds all the way up. Like, we talk about everything and make sure that we understand that what we got
communication.
is like for real.
Communication. There we go. Now we got go ahead.
What we got is all we got. And that brings in unity, that brings in support, that brings in like just being there, the buddy system. I don't have to tell my 2-3-year-old, I don't have to tell them to stay together.
Right.
You know what I mean? What we got is all we got.
So what you saying, God. So within that we would say communication and we would say structured expectations.
Yeah. Structured expectations.
And communication.
Yes. And
what
God.
else? Well, yes, but this, I feel like when we say "and God," that's like a blanket that covers everything.
The God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. I follow the God who created the heavens and the earth. All right. I don't do no other Buddhist stuff. I don't do no Hindu stuff.
Well, I didn't mean
not shooting at any of them, but in my household, we go by the hierarchy system that is set up by the person not the person, but the creator that created everything. And if you go by that, at least you have a foundation that has a history behind it, because our culture is ran and operated. I ain't gonna say it's backed, but it's ran. And the day-to-day is ran by black folks that have no history. We do not have a history. So I need something with history, with a foundation of working to stand on, because everything else can shift because of the trends. I follow God. I follow the one you think I'm talking about. That one. Yeah. That's what I do. That's the only way that it makes sense, because everything else can change, and you need a constant.
Structured expectations, communication with your partner and your children, open communication, not just dictating. There is a difference. What else you got for me?
Awareness.
Okay,
And
elaborate.
study. So awareness. We got situational awareness, because we gotta deal with the here and now too, right? So situational awareness, I mean, as far as when you go outside, when you go to the store, when you go wherever, you need to be paying attention to what's going on, right? The blanket awareness is you got to be knowing what's going on in and around you, not just your city, your state, your country, but you got to know what's going on, right? Because it's almost like this. If we got a chessboard set up, and we 10 moves into the game, and somebody walks up and they look, and they don't know how to play chess, what they gonna be looking at?
Just pieces moving.
Just some pieces. Now, if you understand what's going on in the game, then you know, okay, oh shoot, you got 2 more moves for you finna be checkmated. Right? So we have to start understanding what kind of moves are being made around us, what kind of laws are being passed, right? What's happening on this world stage, because it's going to directly affect us. It's doing it now. Gas is what? Almost 5? Food is skyrocket. Oh.
Real quick. That's just not a United States problem. I'm going to put that out there right now.
Exactly.
That's a world problem. And that's the problem, like, with a lot of conspiracies and stuff. They stop at the borders of the United States, but they never go beyond and check out the world for the conspiracy. So everyone just saying this is a Joe Biden thing. I don't fuck with Biden either. But this is a world problem. That gas is high around the world. So, anyway, go ahead. Sorry.
I'm with you. When it comes to the politics, people don't like this, but I shy away from it. Right? I want to deal with what's going on. I'm watching, you know what I'm saying? But I'm not choosing no sides. I'm not into none of that.
Right.
Because I see a bigger picture. Right? But what's happening is what's happening. That's all we got. We got to deal with that. Stop trying to figure out why Biden do this and why we ain't got Trump back and when we going to get Trump.
Yeah.
Say, man, let's address this, man. It's a wheat shortage. They say, if you look it up, see it was CNN. Wheat shortage.
Wheat, not weed.
Wheat.
Wheat.
They got 10-week supply of wheat left. 10-week world supply of wheat left. This is what they're saying. I don't know how true it is, but I'm watching.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? That's just like if they tell you, hey, man, Pookie said he coming through here. He finna add up. He finna dump.
I'm watching.
If I don't believe him, I'm still gonna be
watching. That nigga ain't gonna do shit. He's scary.
I don't know, man. I see somebody car down there with the lights just turned out. Ain't nobody. I'm watching, and I'm prepared. Cause I got that hammer over there. You know what I'm saying? I got my partner in there, and they know, and the people down the street ready. So we got to be watching. You know what I'm saying? Because there's a lot of stuff going on right now, man. They just another food processing plant burned to the ground.
Right.
That's 15, 16, 18, 19 of them since January. See, we're not paying attention to that stuff.
Because it's too big. It's uncomfortable. That's an uncomfortable conversation that is too hard for people to try to figure it out.
What's more uncomfortable? And I get what you said. What's more uncomfortable? We're not even worried about figuring it out. That's not the avenue I'm going. I want to have a contingency for it, just in case it's true.
Right.
I'm trying to figure out if the government doing it, the sabotage, or what's going on. We see it's going on now.
Right.
That's the point.
Right.
Just COVID. I don't know what's going on, but I see it's going on, so I'm paying attention.
Right.
Right. I know they might have shutdowns again, so I'm gonna keep stocking this food up back here. Toilet tissue.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Alcohol. So I'm doing that. So that's why I say awareness and study. You got to be, once you find out about this stuff, you actually got to go dig.
Right, you got to study. You got to think, we have all the answers in our pockets, in a phone. And when people ask me questions.
Oh, and what he said. Okay, go ahead.
What he said?
God.
What he said.
And God. Okay.
God. Yeah, go ahead.
When people ask me questions a lot of times, I just look at them and I'm like, you just asked me that question with this device in your pocket.
This computer.
That has all the answers. This is a science fiction when you think about it. You have a device that you can ask whatever question that you want to ask, and it will answer it. It will answer it. Use that motherfucker, y'all. Okay, use it. Now, not all the answers are gonna be on there, but I guarantee you probably 95%
It's
of
a start.
them. Right.
It's a damn good. It's Googleable.
Right.
It's Googleable.
It's Googleable.
You know what I'm saying? Google it.
It's Googleable. And like, if we real deal, because I was thinking about it when it comes to, if you just get on the internet and think of websites you want to go to, it's probably a list of 10 or less.
Right.
Of just actual websites you just want to go to just to be on, peruse or whatever. So your entertainment, in my eyes, is limited.
Compartmentalized.
Yes, thank you. So if you take the time and just put something else in, there's so much other shit out there. If you type in one question in Google, it will take you on and you could just you can figure out how to do anything. You can figure out how to tear your car apart, or you can figure out where the fuck leprechauns come from. Like if you just took the time, it's right there. It's right there. You gotta be able to funnel through the bullshit. The same way how we willing to funnel through which club is fucked up and what club is cool and what bottle we don't like and which one, and we get our particulars on our taste and what we fuck with and shit. That if you approach curiosity and learning and just being inquisitive.
Right.
If any time there's a question that comes to my mind that's just random as shit, I Google it.
Yeah.
Just the most random shit. My phone bricked up, right? My phone bricked up, and I had to do a backup, so I lost everything all the way from August 2020 up to now. So everything. I did the backup, unlocked my phone. You know what my Safari was on?
What?
It was a report about cell phone radiation poisoning.
Wow.
On the phone. And I'm like, damn, I was on some shit. Like I told you about all my pictures and shit. I just take pictures of pages in books and stuff.
Right.
And like, I just do that. Just do it.
Right.
Just do it. If you're curious, go fucking find out.
Yeah. Just go
lead to some shit.
Okay.
For real.
So,
what say ye?
Awareness, study, communication, and what do we say? The higher standards. What do we label that?
Standards.
Higher standards. Just that's the expectations though.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what I was saying. What did we label that? What did I say that was called?
Standardized expectations.
Yeah, standardized expectations. Higher standardized expectations.
Like for real.
So,
but not in no crazy bullshit way. Like
you're not the Huxtables, okay?
No, just get out of the materialistic mindset. If you are looking for higher expectations in a form of materialism, then you're still being a proponent of what they want you to be focused on in the culture.
Right,
itself,
that's true.
You know what I'm saying? And it's a very slippery slope because there's a lot attributed to material things because it gives you the look of success, and
right,
the look of, and to get success, all the things that come with that, and yada yada.
Get your followers on social media
and all that shit. But also, if you're in a material mindset, then it's gonna be impossible for you to be aware. You know what I mean? Like what you tell me before the show started. If you don't go to the store, you never have to worry about what the Joneses have.
Right.
Like some shit like that. Like so, when you have a higher expectation in your life, make it outside of material. Include it if you want to get you a house, pick out your house. You know what I mean? Like, go visit it and shit, but don't just make it all material based because it's too much of that.
Right.
Everything's material based.
Yep.
Everything has to be in form of material, and no one is looking at the insides.
Right.
Independence.
Yeah.
Oh,
independence.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Well, that's been episode 1 of the culture. You know. What?
Can I throw something else in?
Sure.
Just here's something to Google, just to help y'all out, because I like y'all. If you want to Google something, everything we just talked about, we were talking about the music, we were talking about movies, we talked about television, we were talking about private prisons, we talked about
a lot.
Who owns those things, and are they related?
Yeah, definitely. So, this is just some information. This is the answer all to anything. This is a conversation about things we can do to better ourselves, things we can do to incorporate in our lives that maybe we're not already incorporating. So, take some of them tools and apply it. Just look for the change. Let us know if there's any changes or any results with some of these tools. So, next week, what are we addressing? What was it on there? Is Jamie coming on next week? Is next Sunday the 12th?
The 12th, yeah.
Jamie Moorhead will be joining us. Shout out to Jamie Moorhead. Royce.
Dage the Don's supposed to be coming back.
Yes, Dage the Don.
Yeah, we'll be talking about the culture and
a female perspective.
Yeah, from a female perspective, but also that female perspective looking at the Meg Thee Stallion and Tory Lanez. Like, we put out a thing. We want people to come on to address the Meg Thee Stallion, Tory Lanez situation going on. I know a lot of y'all are like up on it and shit, right. So you already know. But they're coming on to talk about that specifically, but also a female perspective on the culture. not just
And
relationships. Yeah, not just relationships and what you usually see women talking about. Like a whole encompassing as a female perspective right now in this day and age. So we want to hear from the ladies. So please tune in so y'all can hear what these very educated, very smart, and interesting women are gonna bring to the mothership. We got anything else?
That's it. Lead us out.
Hey, stay blessed. Don't stress. Life is just a test. We'll see you next Sunday at 6. Whodat?
Whodat?
He
Click
going
the
to sleep.
intro. Click the intro, bro.
You're now rocking with DJ.
Whodat, enough around. It's gotta be my